It's a gorgeous sunny day, so once again I'm out exploring the Midlands countryside. Today I'm at Fosse Meadows, so come and join me on this week's landscape adventures. It's a gorgeous summer afternoon and I've come out here to Fosse Meadows on the edge of Hinckley. I'm worried this is perhaps going to be a little bit too touristy for me, but I think there's plenty here to see, so hopefully I'll find something. I've also got a backup plan of going to Burbage Common as well if this doesn't turn out to be particularly interesting. But the weather's fantastic. I've seen some fantastic potential shots just on the road on the way up here, so if all else fails I can go back to them. But yeah, the plan is to start here and then go to Burbage Common if this doesn't work out and see what happens. So let's see how this goes. I've taken a couple of nice shots already. I'm only 100 yards or so from the car. Got this really gorgeous bird watching area, so obviously in the hide now. There's a guide behind me as to what to watch out for, which is handy because I don't have a clue. But I'm the only person here. It's really nice and cool in here, which is handy as well because I burn very easily, hence the long sleeves even though it's a hot summer day. I'm going to stay here for a bit, get my telephoto lens out and see what I can do from here. So far so good. There's nothing unexpected so far. I've just got a standard mallard and her younglings. Oh, and that was a rabbit. That I've taken some wonderful shots of. It was just chilling in the sun, which was, I feel so honoured. I've never seen a wild rabbit this close before without it running away, so I got some really nice shots, which was, yeah, I feel really very privileged to have seen that. The only other things I've seen so far have been black crows, and they've not been in any particularly interesting locations, so I've not got any particularly good shots of that yet. I think the mallard may yet do something interesting and go to a slightly more interesting location than where I've already taken pictures of them. But that rabbit came out of nowhere. I'd almost given up because I'm really impatient like that. So I'm going to stay here for a while longer and see how it goes. Okay, I'm going to wrap up here just because it would be a very boring video if I spent the hours here that I really want to. I'd be very happy to stay here for a long time and just birdwatch. I'm going to put my kit lens back on and keep wandering into the countryside because I've got a feeling this place might surprise me actually. I found this woodland that I really like. I did get a little bit lazy. I've been in here once before and left because I came in here with my kit lens on and without the tripod and took a couple of shots handheld using OIS, which never turned out brilliantly. I've now changed over to the wide angle lens though and I'm bracketing the shots, so I'm hoping I'll get something a bit more interesting, a bit nicer. But I think I'm going to stay in the woodland for a bit, so I'm going to keep the wide angle lens on for now. Couple of problems shooting with shades on. One is I always forget these are polarised and that I can see everything with a kind of embellishment on the blues and the yellows and the greens, and today everything I'm shooting is blue, yellow and green. So on the one hand it's quite a good thing because it gives me an idea for editing just to get the white balance correct, but on the other hand I sometimes forget I've got them on. And the other thing with that is that I've just accidentally shot with exposure compensation up 2 stops. So I've taken a load of shots that I really liked that unfortunately are massively overexposed. I did, I think, bracket some of them, so hopefully I've been able to save them. I've been shooting this wonderful tree here, but from the other side. These fields are absolutely gorgeous, and being here really feels amazing. I just wish, on a slightly more selfish note, that there was some kind of subject matter to make the pictures jump out a little bit more, give them a bit more pop, and give them something to focus on. I've seen someone doing what looked like a family photo shoot inside these wonderful yellow fields, and I can see why, because that's the sort of thing that works really, really well here. I think I'm about done. Oh, that's interesting though. I was about to say everything really looks the same once you sort of get past the first bit of woodland. This is mildly interesting. A few different trees. Yeah, camcorder doesn't really do it justice. I'm not sure there's a shot in it, but I'll have a look. There's also this thing here, this little blue porter cabin thing as well. I don't know what that is. I'm going to have a look at it. I'm going to head back to the car and maybe check out Burbage Common. So I just found a new friend. I've been using him as a model. The sun's doing really wonderful things in the sky. The shape of the clouds is amazing, but I can't quite do it justice, which is really frustrating, but I think it's just because of where I am. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you might have noticed that I've changed my clothes. See, I had to cut the video short last night, but I've managed to get back out. Now I'm at Burbage Common. I'm at the exact time I would have been here had I just carried on filming yesterday anyway. And thankfully the weather conditions are pretty similar as well. So I've just arrived. I'm going to have a look around. I'm going to see how this goes. You know, one of the things I'm starting to notice more and more about Leicestershire is that it's just so very green and flat. I never thought I'd say this, but I'm starting to miss the slightly crappy parts of the South Downs, because at least they had a bit of character to places. Again, don't get me wrong, it's absolutely gorgeous, and I'm not complaining about being out here, it's fantastic. I'm just complaining that I'm struggling to get photos of anything because there's no real subject matter. I'm going to go into the woods now and see if I can find something in there. Hopefully there'll be something a bit more interesting. It's been a while since I've obsessed over a tree, isn't it? Well, I found this one. I love it. Just a bit disappointed that there's no decent light coming through on it at the moment, because at the moment the reason it's dominating here in the space is because it's quite dark compared to the rest of the trees around. However, obviously when I take a photo, one of the things I know about photos is that eyes are drawn towards the lighter parts of the frame. So I'm going to see if I can take some photos of it, but I've got a horrid feeling that the backdrop is going to be too powerful to actually give it any kind of attention. I've got something crawling on my leg. That's not the first time it's happened in the 2 minutes I've been here either, so that's not going to be the last. You can see the light is gorgeous on my face, so there is some coming through the trees. Let's see what we can do here. Well, I took a few shots of the tree. Got my fisheye lens out as well and took a few with that. Also, when I turned around, as often happens with these sorts of shoots, I turned around with the camera screen previewing and saw some wonderful, wonderful light coming through the trees where the sun is obviously beginning to come down now. So I got some nice little photos there, again both with my fisheye and with my normal wide angle. And now I'm going to head back outside and see what I can find. But these woods are absolutely gorgeous. Some really wonderful, characterful trees and shapes in here. I really like this. I've reached what appears to be the opposite end of where I started, and to be honest there's not much to see here. It's all very flat. Again, there are paths both ways, I could go either way, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back through this tunnel, which is where I've just come out of. Maybe not, there's an interesting looking farm building there. Might just have a quick peek around the corner and then head back the way I came, but take a slightly alternative route. As you can tell, probably, I came back the way I said I was going to come back. I did go and have a quick look and there was an interesting house there, but not interesting enough for me to actually be bothered to go anywhere near it, so I took a couple of shots, but hey ho. Now I'm heading back a different direction. The route that I thought I was going to go is actually off limits. It's a golf course. How did I not spot that? I've no idea. So I'm going to go back in the opposite direction, which is still an alternative direction to the way that I came, and I'm going to see where this takes me. Right, quick switch back to kit lens, because the last few shots that I've seen have all been sort of eye level walking shots, and I really want that ability to be able to pick something out and shoot it straight away. So obviously if I keep the 35 to 50mm range, then we're sort of in the normal eye viewing range. You know what I mean, or you don't know what I mean, it doesn't really matter either way. Basically I'm back on the kit lens, I'm getting the sunsets now, and let's see what the sky does. And I'm walking back to the car, and the sky is now on fire. Completely lost my bearings and had to ask someone for directions, and turns out I was going in completely the wrong direction, so it was a good job I did. I don't know if I'm finished yet. I'm going to see how this sky pans out and see where I am, and then take it from there. So the sky is lighting up, it looks fantastic. I think we're going to get that sky on fire effect. What I'm going to do now, I think, there's no point in me doing anything else here, because there's nothing in the direction of the sunset, and the light isn't interesting enough to make anything interesting here. So what I'm going to do is one of two things. So I'm either going to go down Frolsworth Road and see if I can get a picture of Croft Hill with the sunset, or I might just pop back to where I was yesterday. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. I went down Frolsworth Road and the sky just wasn't very interesting for the shot that I wanted, and I also took a trip back out to where I was yesterday, and well, the car parks were supposed to be locked at 8:30, but they weren't. I was planning to park on the verges and walk in, but there were two things that put me off. One was a sign saying please don't park on the verges, and the other thing was some dodgy looking people parked up around there. So yeah, I decided against it, but you know, it's been an interesting little weekend. I think I've got a handful of shots that are okay. It's not my best work. I'm still finding my feet here in Leicester, I think. But I hope you've enjoyed coming with me. As always, please like, comment and subscribe. You know all that stuff already. If you've already done it, thank you so much. It means a lot to me, because I'm, as you know, just getting off the ground. Yeah, I think I might be a bit tired, so I'm going to wrap this up, and I'm going to put the pictures at the end as I always do. Thank you once again for coming with me, and I'll see you on next week's Landscape Adventures.